I think that at the end of the day, what you should look at is with respect to what the patient was getting, Mr. Jackson. Any physician, like an anesthesiologist, when a patient comes to me in the operating room, I have to know every medication he or she is on, so I know how my anesthetic is going to interact with that individual. We, as anesthesiologists, are personally responsible for that patient. So I would agree with your guest that you have to know the medications that that patient is getting. So that way, when you have to, if you're going to use propofol, you're going to know how to monitor that patient and how much to give that patient. That's incredible, important information. And with respect to Dr. Klein, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Go right ahead.
And with respect to Dr. Klein, I mean, as a dermatologist, I take him at his word that he just provided him with muscle relaxants, which can be very sedating. It's almost like having a couple vodkas. And that might make you feel out of it for a while, such as Soma or Flexeril. Those things can be very powerful. Can be somewhat addicting too, but they can really, take the wind out of your sails.
Dr. Dombrowski, you just brought up a very interesting point that when you are dealing with a patient, you know every medication that he's got. You make sure of that. One thing that struck us about what Dr. Murray said in this tape is that he didn't disclose, that Michael Jackson didn't necessarily disclose the doctors he was working with, but he did notice that there were pill bottles all over the room. Does that tell you that maybe Dr. Murray failed Michael Jackson in not getting to know everybody that he was interacting with and what he may have been taking, as it may have affected his treatment of Michael?
Agreed. I mean, that's the point of knowing your surroundings. Again, when he's providing this level of care to Mr. Jackson, he's going to see what medications is around him. He can't help but notice it. He can certainly pick up the bottle, read what he's taking. Oh, my goodness, let me give this physician a call. We do this all the time as anesthesiologists and people that specialize in pain medicine to call other primary care or other physicians involved in that one patient's care to make sure we're all coordinating together so they get the right care. The other point that you bring up that I wanted to mention with you is that anytime you give anyone an anesthetic, you never leave the patient. You don't say, well, he self-administered, he drunk it, he went someplace else, because I'm always there in attendance to find out what's going on. So you never abandon your patient at any time.